What is going on, you guys? It is Gawa. Welcome back to yet another Magic the Gathering video. Today, guys, we are back with another DeckTech. Today we're going to be looking at my budget Bonny, Pall, and I guess Bow landfall deck. Before we jump into the video, if you're new around here, be sure to drop a like and a sub, and to go check out the Discord link in the bio. We're always up to no good over there. Also, I want to give a big shout out before we even start this to my wonderful girlfriend, Miss Gawa, who this is her deck, so she obviously made the boulder looking very nice and spectacular. I think I figured out this camera situation, which is really good now. So it's not as zoomed out as my previous videos, but so you can see my chewed fingernails in HD quality. But I just wanted to say shout out to Miss Gawa for that. But yeah, so we're rocking with Bonny, Pall, Clearcutter. So reach 6/5 for Demare, I think. Not Demare. Oh god, Magic. Not Demare. Simic. Sorry. So for 6 mana, whenever Bonny enters, you create Bow, and the blue Ox creature token with this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever you attack, draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. It's one of those decks. I mean, this deck comes in at $224 American. So it's one of those decks, man, that's just a lot of fun, you know, when it comes down to just like swinging for the fences and just like creating multiple copies of Bow with like mirror box and stuff, like, you know, ruling out the legend rule and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just hop into what we have underway here. So to start off, we have just 9 basic islands. No one really cares about them. We also then have 15 basic forests. So we have 36 lands in this deck in total because, you know, we obviously need a lot of lands. You'll see there's a lot of lands here too where you can, like, the ones where you can crack and then bring back and stuff like that, because obviously with Bonny you're just trying to get most value engine for that. We have Reliquary Tower, of course. Exotic Orchard. Ooh, this camera quality is very, very crisp. I think I got it down to the T. Hinterland Harbor. Rogue Passage. Evolving Wild is one of those cards I was talking about. Command Tower. Guildless Commons. Inventor's Fair. So with this stuff, like Inventor's Fair, and you'll see, I think there's a couple other cards in this deck that like allow you to fetch for artifacts. You're just going to be looking for Mirror Box or what's that other one? Mirror Gallery. So Inventor's Fair, Simic Growth Chamber, Rimewood Falls, Demolition Field, and Terramorphic Expanse. So this deck is a budget deck, so you might be wondering, like, yo, Gawa, why aren't you using like fetches and stuff like that? I could and just get max value engine out of them, but I decided not to because this is, again, my girlfriend's deck, and she wanted to build it on a budget. So, you know, whatever the girlfriend wants, whatever Miss Gawa wants, Miss Gawa will get. So let's start off with now the main, you know, part of the deck. So we start off with 2 Planeswalkers. We have Garukt, the Primal Hunter. Oh jeez, camera quality down, camera video down. And we have Oko. Oko is one of those cards, man, I just had to have an excuse. I didn't have a, you know, Simic deck, so Oko is now in this one. I think next is Creatures, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just get all these. All right, Creatures. I had to move this light over a tiny bit. All right, so we start off with Springheart Nantuko, Classic Scoot Swarm, Scaled Herbalist. We have Topiary Stomper. I think that's how you say that. I could be so mistaken. Sakura Tribe Builder, Steve with no words, Tatiova, Sakura Tribe Scout. God, I keep knocking over this light. Reclamation Sage. I'm gonna put this back. Rampaging Baloths. Prime Speaker Zagana. Maha, Master Wizard. I do believe that's how you pronounce that. The go to this deck, Tireless Provisioner. Next we have a Tireless Tracker. We have a Wood Elves, Oracle of Moldiah. We have a Wayward Swordtooth, Mystic Snake, Multani Yavimaya's Avatar. I'm just gonna give him, keep him in the frame for a little bit so you guys can see. Mole Drifter, Meluku, the Clouded Mirror, Loot, Kodama of the East Tree, Frilled Mystic, N-Rays Forerunners, Elsewhere Giant, Beanstalk Giant, Avenger of Zendikar, and the Amphin Mutner. I think that's how you say it. So yeah, the whole thing about this deck is like really, like a lot of these cards, like the creatures and stuff, they all revolve around like landfall. You got stuff like Frilled Mystic and stuff where you can like counter spells, are just a bit expensive. Stuff with loot and stuff, and there's like stuff where you can return lands to your hand and make tokens. This deck is basically, you just want to make like an army of tokens. That's why I just like to call this, Bo or Bonny and her friends, because it's just Bonny and her cows. But next we'll get to, I think this is a stack of just sorceries and instants. I could be wrong, but no, it's not. We'll start off with the artifacts. So for the artifacts, we have Mirror Gallery. So that's the legend rule, doesn't apply. We have a Soul Ring. And we have a Mirror Box, a beautiful Mirror Box. So each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. And each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. So basically the legend rule won't apply, so you'll be able to make as many copies of Bo as you can. And then he will just keep getting stacked up, and then the more lands you get, he'll get more stacked up, and then you'll just have an army of cows. It's quite fantastic, actually. Next one, Rite of Replication. So this is a good one for the kicker, and you can create a token that's a copy of target creature. If the spell was kicked, create 5 of those, so you just make a bunch of bows. Urban Evolution. Rishkar's Expertise. Rampant Growth. Overwhelming Stampede, Kodama's Reach, Fabricate to search up one of those beautiful cards, Doppelgang, Curse of the Swine, Cultivate, Bridgeworks Battle, Retreat to Korahelm, of course, Old Reliable, Exploration, Zendikar's Royal, Grux Uprising, Case of the Locked Hothouse, Reality Shift, Planar Incision, Illusionist Stratagem, Hero, Gush, Ghostly Flicker, Essence Flux, Eureka Moment, Entish Restoration, Displace, Lure, Beast Within, Return of the Wild Speaker, and Siren's Ruse. So basically, with the instants and sorceries and stuff in this deck as well, it's a lot of flicker. So you're basically going to want to flicker Bonny as much as humanly possible. There's so many ways in this deck to be able to do that. I mean, you can add stuff in this deck if you wanted to make it like not budget, like with Conjurer's Closet or Teleportation Circle, so on and so forth. Anything that can really just like guarantee a flicker of Bonny that can cause her to basically trigger and then have a mirror box or something out like that, so you can basically keep flickering. The only thing is, after you kind of flicker Bonny for a while, you can just eventually stop and start focusing up on the actual attack triggers going through. I mean, she has reach and stuff, so I mean, she's good for those old flyers and stuff. But it's good to try to get Bonny through. If you can't get Bonny through, then you can just have a stampede of bows. Again, like stuff like Grux Uprising and whatnot, that just allows, you know, allows stuff to get trample. You know, creatures you control have trample. So, I mean, if you have like 15, you know, 10/10 bows that are just coming in with trample, I mean, it just gets ridiculous after a while. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This is probably one of my favorite commander decks that I have. It's not even mine, but I play it quite frequently. It's actually, like I said, Miss Gawa's, but she lets me have it here and there to play. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all for the support, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Be sure to check the Discord link down in the bio. Like I said, we're always up to no good. If you're new around here, be sure to drop a sub. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you disliked about the video. And yeah, guys, remember, if it ain't Gawa gang, it's no gang. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.